Kevin McCallum came to Hawaii to surf, but found a new calling. Here's the story behind his Cool Roof Hawaii company and how that led to Z-Mana, a security system that you can control with a smartphone. Special mahalo to Makai HR for introducing us to Kevin.
When I met him, it was just an incredible connection of two entrepreneurs coming together, talking about the challenges of running small businesses. It was really refreshing to talk to another business owner, on that level and really address real problems that are not just facing his business, but also mine and all of our other clients, and to mutually come together to create a solution that works for everyone.
I've always been an entrepreneur since I was a kid. I mowed lawns when I was 10, sold plums from my backyard at 11, and started working formally for somebody at 12. So I've always had that in me. About 14 years ago, I lived in Denver and I felt like I needed a change. I'd always admired the sport of surfing and moved out to Hawaii. I brought golf clubs, a surfboard, and 2 bags. Immediately I was really drawn to this place. And my background was kind of sales and construction management, and I found a job on Craigslist before I moved selling roofing. So I came here and immediately did well. I was earlier on time, I followed up with people, kind of the basics. After a while, I felt like it was time for me to do my own thing or move home. And I remember vividly, I said, I'm gonna do this. If my boss can do it, I think I can do this at least as good as him. So I applied for a license, built my own website for the next year or two. I got jobs through my website, started getting leads, talking to people. I did the work. I hired people on the weekends to help me and just kind of grew it organically. I didn't borrow money. As I did jobs, I saved money, bought some tools, bought a truck, and then just slowly grew from there. Initially, when I worked for someone else here, he was actually a pioneer in cool roofing. A lot of the old roofs are asphalt and they absorb energy and heat up, which makes your house hot. So when you get home from work, it's super hot. So with the cool roof, they were reflective. The sun bounces off the roof, doesn't go in the house. So I always liked it, but I felt like I could do it better. And I got the name because I figured if I wanted a cool roof and I lived in Hawaii, I would Google search cool roof Hawaii. I remember the day I searched the name to see if it was available. I was shocked it was still available. After '08, when we kind of got going, we started seeing a lot of the federal tax credits, and a lot of people were doing solar. We had a decision to make, and my now general manager, Brendan Clement, who's with me, has been with me 9 years, was really helpful in helping me and us to decide to either go into solar with the whole gold rush or to help solar companies waterproof roofs. And we decided to stay as just a roofing contractor and help solar companies integrate into roofing, because that's the biggest problem, right? You're putting holes in roofs, it's going to be a problem, and if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to have issues. We did thousands of houses and commercial property throughout the islands that had major solar projects. We were very proud. We've done a bunch of Catholic churches, DOE schools, houses, police stations, malls, all sorts of interesting projects with solar. So it was a great timing in life to be able to ride the wave of solar. Roofing is an interesting business, and I compare it to cars. There's all different types of cars. There's the really cheap $100 car. There's the $1,000 car that has bad brakes. There's the new Toyota, and then there's the Maserati or Lamborghini. It's very similar to roofing. So when people offer you warranties, you gotta be careful what you're actually getting. A lot of times these warranties are as good as the paper they're on. So you might be told it's a 50-year warranty, but if you read the fine print, it's nothing. It literally is nothing. So what we believe here is, first of all, there's a law here that says that the maximum time I can provide as a licensed contractor in the state, I can provide up to 7 years for my warranty. So typically on full roofs, we offer always 7 years. Labor and material, any questions, let us know, fix it. So there's a thing about this business is service, right? You always can get a cheaper car, easily. But there's problems with cheap cars, and it's the same with roofs. So to answer the question of how long does a roof last, it really depends on the building, and that's why we always give free estimates. We always give free assessments. It's never a bad idea to look at it and make sure you understand where your roof's at before it's too late. And the time of the season I always like to recommend to take a look at your roof is the summer, because it's not that rainy. If it starts raining a lot and there's issues and your ceiling collapses, which we've seen before, and they go out and they say, we need help today, but there's 15 customers in front of you, it's a little harder. My goal is to make your inside of your house feel like the outside. So when you get home from work, it doesn't feel hot and air is trapped. With a cool roof and different ventilation options that we have, I can easily drop someone's temperature in their house 10 to 15 degrees immediately. The efficiency of energy efficient roofing is dramatic savings in electric. As a small business owner, there's a lot of variety of challenges, and one is HR. So forever with Cool Roof, we did it ourselves. We tried to save money, and I was good, I was thrifty. We looked at prices, we looked at healthcare prices, and over probably 10 years, people would come into my office and say, oh, an HR company, I can beat that price, and it's okay, try it, and they could never successfully beat the prices I was getting. And as we were growing and this Zimana company had started, I felt like I needed more help in the HR market. So we went to a large HR company. And when I went there, there was a lot of benefits. They were expensive, but there were benefits that my small company couldn't handle. The problem is that I felt like a number, because I was a number. And when I called them, they didn't even know who I was. And I was paying a lot of money, but I was still having things missed. Basics, lack of communication on their end. And a good friend of mine, an insurance broker, recommended me to Makai. And so when I met with Makai, I was blown away. They beat all my prices from everyone. Every single price they beat. So that's a big deal for small business. Second of all was the quality. So I matched everything, apples to apples. The quality of coverage is good. But the third most important thing is a service. But the service is twofold. It's not just service, because you can be great at servicing people. You gotta be knowledgeable. And in my past, with the big HR company, when I had some very complicated questions that I've been asking for years, they couldn't answer it. When my first meeting at Makai, I brought up the question. Quickly, someone went and grabbed the benefits expert, and she came in and she said, oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. I used to work at HECO. I had to deal with 15,000 employees. And she laid a list out of exactly how they would handle it and what they'd do. And to me, that meant more than anything that a small business could have, because I immediately knew that I needed that girl on my team. So it's priced better, the quality's there, and the knowledge is better than anyone.